Good. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I got inspired to do a video from my buddy Strange Vision. Strange Vision. Uh, he did a video over the, I think it was over the weekend. Oh yeah. It was Monday. I did High C Ecto Cooler, and then the Cooler, some in the Cooler. See, I'm drinking that vodka stuff. So giving me a buzz now. Um, and what the hell was I going to say? Oh yeah, he said he did a video about the real Ghostbusters figures, the retro ones that were selling at Walmart. Yeah, I think he got all four of them or something like that, which was really cool. Now, that gave me inspiration to do a video. Now, when I see his name, it says Strange Vision, but I always want to say, not inside him, Strangle Vision, because I remember St. Clown Posse did, he likes wrestling too, and St. Clown Posse did Stranglemania, parts 1 and 2. And it basically was like a thing of bootleg matches they got from FMWs from Japan, Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling. And they added like really funny color commentary to it, pretty filthy, and it was really funny. I mean, I think I've seen the second one. I didn't see the first one, and then I think they changed it to just effed up wrestling. That's what they called it. And I guess in the first one they had drunk Terry Flunk instead of Terry Funk. They had Cactus Jack, and they called him Cactus Sack in the first one. I guess they said that they wanted Mick Foley to be in the movie Big Money Hustlers, but I'd not seen Big Money Hustlers. And they said Mick Foley said he'd be in their movie if they stopped bootlegging his matches. And he said okay. I've not seen the movie though. I think it's on YouTube. I haven't seen it though. Anyways, I'm getting off the topic. That's what I think I'm going to take a Strange video. And then he did that video. I thought, I know exactly what to do. And I watched a few episodes of each show. I didn't bother to watch the movie in the movies. I'd seen the first two. I'll tell you my thoughts too. Now it all goes back to, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was 79, 80. It goes back to 1975. What are you talking about? Ghostbusters came out in 84. No, 1975. Back on Saturday morning TV, you know, they had a bunch of live action shows. I forgot that Sid and Marty Krofft were not all the only people who do live action shows. Filmation was. And they did stuff like they did, I don't know if they did Ark. I know they did Shazam. They did ISIS, and they did Ghostbusters back in 1975. It was the original title for the show. It was hosted by, on the show was Larry Storch and Forrest Tucker from F Troop. Remained their character, and then there was a gorilla named Tracy. Now, it's weird because it's Kong, Tracy, and Spencer. And everyone thinks that the gorilla's name is Kong. Kong was actually Forrest Tucker's name in the show. And Tracy was the name of the gorilla, and he was played by Bob Burns. Well, I remember he hosted remember the day they used to get these VHS tapes that you sell cheaply, like a history of sci-fi or history of horror, or like history of ape movies, and he hosts the history of ape movies. First time I ever heard of Bob Burns, he owned his own ape suit, and he had like the black eye makeup that, you know, when he puts it on, you know, melts a little bit better. And he was talking about obscure, not just aside from like King Kong and Mighty Joe Young, more obscure movies like Bela Lugosi, Mr. Brooklyn Gorilla, White Pongo, stuff like that. And he played the gorilla Tracy in the movie. I mean, the TV show. And it was a short-lived TV show. I guess Filmation did it. And at the time, it had a big following. It just wasn't for kids. It was on Saturday morning. It wasn't for kids. I remember seeing it. It was like the whole family liked it, dug it. I remember my dad was a big fan of it. And they said it was going to repeat history because I guess F Troop started out as a show for kids and then ended up going to prime time being a show for everyone. And they said that it was, the ratings were high. It was the second most popular show on Saturday mornings Number one was ISIS, and they said Forrest Tucker said I predicted the show's going to go to prime time. And what happened was they shot 15 episodes, and then I guess Filmation said they wanted to focus on ISIS because it was more popular, and they canceled Ghostbusters. And then I guess after a little while, ISIS lost its popularity, and then they realized they made a mistake. And I think the next year CBS reran that on Sundays, because I remember that too. I remember watching some episodes. And, this video is called The Original Ghostbusters versus The Real Ghostbusters. I watched a couple episodes, and I remember how much I love the show, and how much I remember some of the gags. There was a gag when Tracy, the gorilla, had a drawing board. He drew a refrigerator, because Larry Storch said he could use a pop. And he drew like a refrigerator, and he found it there. He opened up the paper, he pulled a pop out, and he used it like a refrigerator. He pulled food inside. That was really clever. And a lot of the humor that was like giant props, seltzer water, traditional like Three Stooges stuff, like pies in the face. Well, Three Stooges didn't use giant props. Or they had a scene where the girl was drinking a giant milkshake, and then you see a picture of a sailboat and go down, the water's gone. I thought that was funny. But really silly humor. And you have some weird little thing that would bust a ghost. Look like a camera with handlebars or something like that. Well, anyways, I love the show. That gets a 10 out of 10. Now, years later, I think Dan Aykroyd, after this, the Blues Brothers, wanted to make another comedy. And he wanted to use John Belushi, but he passed away, sadly. He was trying to write the script for a long time. I think it was really going to call Ghost Breakers. They went through a lot of titles, and they wanted to use the word Ghostbusters. However, Universal owned the rights to the Filmation Ghostbusters show and said, no, you can't use it. And then I guess they were filming a scene, and they told the producer to tell no one not to tell nobody, and the whole crowd started yelling Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters into one scene. And they got an RCA Columbia who released the movie. I just found out about this today. I thought when they lost suit, but I guess not. They said that they could use the title, but with some payment to it. So they offered to pay Universal $500 plus. I mean $500,000 plus 1% of the movie's profit. And Ghostbusters, I love Ghostbusters is a classic. Because not too many people remember the old show. I even put a thing on Facebook about it, and John said he never heard of it before, which shocked me. I thought he did. But it shocked me it came out in 75. I thought it was 79 and 80. And made, boy, I feel old. But I remember watching it with Dad, and they reran it on Sunday afternoons in 79, 76, or 77. It was only 15 episodes. I've seen 2 episodes. I gotta watch more episodes of the show. It brings back lots of good memories. And a fun show, very silly, low budget, but entertaining. And then the movie came out, like I said, and the movie was a classic. I remember seeing it with the whole family. I couldn't believe it. It was, myself, my sister, we saw it in Village Cinema. Myself, my sister, my dad, and my mom. It shocked the hell out of me because there's monsters and stuff in it. And Mom wanted to see it. I think she liked it. But we all seen it as family. We dug the movie. I think I've only seen that one once. But it was a 10 out of 10. Like the old 1975 show was 10 out of 10. And I was always a big fan of Larry Storch and Forrest Tucker. Anyways, Forrest Tucker was in a really cool action film from Canada. It's kind of cheesy, but probably almost second to last thing he did was Thunder Run. Which I liked it. I guess it never got proper released to DVD or anything like that. I think it's just a VHS copy through Media Home Entertainment. Well, anyways, Ghostbusters came out. I really dug it. And then, now this is where the real title of the video comes in. The original Ghostbusters versus the real Ghostbusters. Because I'm not going to compare the TV show, live action, low budget TV to the movie. I mean, it's not the same thing. I mean, the TV show was great. I mean, it was real low budget, and then a giant, big budget movie was fantastic. They were both equally good on different ways. And, you know, the old girls bring back a lot of memories from childhood. And I guess Filmation wanted to capitalize on that, made a show called cartoon anime show called Ghostbusters. And I think they changed originally the original Ghostbusters, but just say Ghostbusters on there. I think they released it a month before RCA released the real Ghostbusters because just legal reason they had to call it real Ghostbusters. Anyways, I never saw the Filmation Ghostbusters before. I saw 2 episodes. It deals with like the son of Larry Storch and the kids, their sons, and along with fighting busting ghosts. But I just didn't get into it. And they introduced it like other characters, like this one guy Primeval, which is the main villain against against them, and then they have Futana, which is like a futuristic Ghostbusters from the future, something like that. I just didn't get into it. I didn't care for it. It doesn't have the same charm or appeal as the old one. It had a little bit of ideas that were clever ideas in it, but I mean, just didn't really add up to anything. It didn't have much humor either. So I give that probably a 3 out of 10. I don't care if I ever see another episode of that. Now with the real Ghostbusters was the animated show, and this is what Strange Vision did a thing about. Let me see. Okay. Strange Vision did a thing about the real Ghostbusters, and then what this was about was animated version of the Ghostbusters TV show. I think it captured a lot of the spirit, and it lasted from 86 to 91, which was awesome. I remember seeing it coming home from high school. Now, back in those days, they had cartoons on all the time. They had the Jetsons on 4 o'clock, and at 4:30, real Ghostbusters. And the Jetsons actually had new episodes on there. I remember there was one where Elroy was on a game show and told the guy to make his day. My dad just shook his head. I thought it was kind of funny. But I mean, and then it was a time when they had a lot of cartoons on the afternoon. I remember on CBS had like He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers. And then they had stuff like they have like the Muppet Show would be on, or Scooby-Doo or the Flintstones would be on. ABC would have like Tom and Jerry and their own, and then they had like a Looney Tunes thing, and they would have right in the middle they have a very silly Porky Pig cartoon from the early 30s. Those are the silliest. Those were awesome. But those were great times. I give the real Ghostbusters cartoon a 10 out of 10. It had the same appeal and likability as the movie did. I mean, it was a continuation, because with the other Ghostbusters, it didn't seem like the old TV show. Now, when they both ran, I think Ghostbusters on CBS, and then that was just syndicated, real Ghostbusters. I think kids got confused because they both had the same title, and they just stuck with the real Ghostbusters because it's most like the movie. And it's not their fault. They didn't know about the show, but the show didn't run that long. 15 episodes, and then Filmation foolishly canceled it back in 1975. And they did 65 episodes of the cartoon, and I didn't care for the cartoon at all. Now, as far as other Ghostbusters stuff, I know that I did see Ghostbusters 2, and I mean, it was okay. It was nowhere near as good as the first one, but I give it a 7 out of 10. I liked it. And I remember in Germany, Ghostbusters 2 was playing. I was going to see it in the theater, and then I saw, they have, in Germany, in Lindenhof, Germany, well, now it's it's a training camp for police, or at least at the time, and the American troops left there in, 94 or whatever. And they had a big PX, and they made a shopping mall with all these different shops in there, and they had an indoor movie theater. It was really, really cool. It's fantastic. Wait, so what am I doing? Okay, I don't want that to shut off. And that's still recording. Okay. I remember Ghostbusters 2 was playing. I was going to see it, but they had a line from there all the way up through the PX and stuff like that, all the way up north. So forget it. It's too far. Yeah, that's silly. I just ended up renting it like a few months later. Yeah, I thought it was all right. It's not nowhere near as good as the first one, but it still was decent. I enjoyed it. I didn't bother to see the all-female cast one. Um, and I know the new one, Ghost of the Afterlife, got pushed till 2021. So I don't know. That definitely looks interesting. I don't know, but that's my video. Original Ghostbusters versus the real Ghostbusters. The real Ghostbusters win. And like I said, the Ghostbusters TV show was awesome. And the Ghostbusters movie was awesome. And the second one was good. So I hope you liked this video. Bye. Till next time, please. Take care, my little nerd. That stuff gets you sauced. All right. Take care, everybody.